Hi guys, I am back. We're gonna keep working on this little red hen junk journal. Hold on, let me log on. Okay. So I showed yesterday how to make the cover, how to use a book to make the cover for a little junk journal. So that is one video before this one. So today we're gonna put our signatures together. I have a few things that I collected around my room that I want to include in the journal. I already have my template, and for this book I cut my template out to 2 inches because my spine is 2 inches, and then I just measured. I'll give you the measurements in case you are going to be doing a 2 signature 2-inch spine journal. So let me see if this way is easier. So the measurements are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6/8 of an inch. Is it? Yeah, 6/8 of an inch. Wait. Oh, 5/8 of an inch. And that'll give you a spot for 2 signatures. And I just like mark it. And I have that, and I'll use that for my pages too, for my signatures. So before I get started, hold on, let me put my phone on do not disturb so that we don't start getting all those crazy notifications while we're recording. All right, so I have here 2 envelopes that I want to put in the middle of the signature, and I'm going to be doing it this way this time. Normally I just open up the envelope and then, or I just make one, but this time I'm just going to use this, and all I did was open up the other end. So this will be for the middle of our signature, and I'm going to start dividing. So I have 2 signatures. I want to include 2 bags in the journal. So I have these guys. Fold them in half. It is cold here today, guys. I don't know what your weather is like, but yesterday was so pretty and today is just like so cold. I have doilies, and I want to put 2 in each signature. So I'll divide that. So it's just a matter of you picking what papers you want in your journal, and then, you know, just putting them all together. Got that. I have these is like from a drawing pad. I want to put those in. So fold those in half too. And let's see what else I got. Oh, I got music. And when I have a little booklet like this of music, if I can pull out the whole little sleeve, I will. Although this is going to get cut, but that's the way I want to do that. But if you don't, you can also just fold it and add it like that to your journal. I have some coloring pages I want to add. And I'm not worried right now about measuring anything because I have a way, and it's a quick way. It might not be for everyone, but it works fine for me. I'll share that with you. I have this, and I'm just folding. I'm not sure how many pages my signature is going to have yet. That always changes, you know. but whatever papers I don't use, I will put it aside for my next journal. So making my little piles here. I have this is from a vintage notebook, and it's got like a yellow hue already on it, so I like that. So I want a page of that. I like adding a lot of different pages. It just gives the journal a little extra something. This is score sheet pads, and I think I want to add that and that. This is some Henry Terry, and I was able to pull the whole sleeve, so I like it because you can journal here and here and then have the pretty page. So one goes there and one goes there. And some graph paper. Let's see. Oh, I have some, this is actually parchment paper that I had laid down when I was dyeing some papers, and it's really long. I love the crinkle and I love how it looks. So I'm going to be adding this, but this is so big that I'm going to cut it real quick on my trimmer because I don't want to have to use the whole thing if I don't need to. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I'm gonna add one there and one there. Then we have the little book itself. I still have to add my coffee dye papers. So I have two little red handbooks, but this one I'm gonna use for ephemera and pockets and things like that. So we'll be using this one because this is the story that belongs to this book. This is a one signature storybook. So I have to divide this in two, meaning that my storyline is not going to be exactly in order, but it's okay. So let's see how many pages we got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to make the first signature have 4 and the other signature have 3. So that goes there. Now, let me fold some coffee dye paper. And this is how I find that it's easier for me. I just lay out. If it was 3 signatures, then I would be making 3 piles. But because it's only 2 signatures, this is how I'm going to do it. And we're going to see if all of this fits. And look. Normally I add 15 to 20 pages into one signature. So we will see if we're able to do that. Okay. So we have one pile and one pile. So I'm going to start, and this is how I do it, that is easier for me. Instead of measuring this and measuring that, this is my little 4 sheets. I always like to start with a coffee dye page, and that goes in there. Then for the second one, I'll probably add my Henry Terry because it's going to look nice against this. So let's lift up, add that one in there. And then we are going to basically just adding pages now in between. Okay. In the middle of the signature, I want another coffee dye paper. So we have that done already. And as you can see, the more we add, the more this is going to come out. And I'm going to show you how I trim that so all the pages are the same. So we still have all of this that we want to include. My envelope, I want it to be in the middle of the signature. And I put it with this flap because when I stitch in my signature, I can stitch it and then I'll cover that stitching with this one. Glue that, and then we'll have a pocket there. So now we still have all these papers. So now I'll go through again, and maybe here I'll add this little guy. And here I'll add, let's do this one. No, because I don't want two lines at the same time. See, this is where you get to play. I'll add my tracing paper. And here, let's see, we'll add the coloring page. So you just keep adding. Here, I think I want my music. Yeah. And then we go back again. And I'll add, I have a small sheet there. Maybe I'll want another small sheet here. We'll do that. And here I'll add, do I want this one there? Yeah, let's do it. I can add another coffee dyed here. And let's put this one here. And I still have my little bag. Let's put it right in here. And I still have my little two doilies that I want to include. And I will include them right here. One there. And I'll pick another side. Put that one there. There we go. All right. So that is going to be my first signature, and I'm going to show you how I get it all cut down and squared off. Let me do this one too while I'm at it. And again, I'm just going to go through and just add see if I could go a little faster. It feels weird. I feel like I'm talking to myself. Oh my gosh. Okay. And I think I want another coffee dye paper here. And maybe this one right here. No, not that one. I'll put my parchment paper there. Let's break this up with a small one. Okay, so you play around and see how you like your pages to lay. Let's do this one here. And then in the middle of the signature, I still want my envelope. So we'll put the envelope with the flap here this way. So then you can close it over. And let's do a little doily here. And another one here. Ever since I moved my room, I could hear all those cars when they pass through. It feels kind of like I'm on the street. Okay, so we have both our signatures together. Now you got all this mess, right? And we all know that as more pages you put in, the inner pages start coming out. So we want to make them even. So just tap, 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 and tap. You want to tap either direction. And I like to cut the edge off first. So I go in and I take a ruler just to press down and hold it and pull out. So I know everything is where it should be. And I am just going to hold it down. Hopefully this X-Acto knife is sharp enough. And then just line it up. And I line it up to the first page. Pressing down. Press hard so nothing moves. And we are cutting all this excess off. Got to make sure that you're not moving your ruler, that you're putting pressure down. And there we go. Nice and straight. Now we tap this way. You want all of your pages to go down. Make sure everything is at the bottom. Push it in. Make sure it's nice and aligned at the bottom. And we're going to do the same thing. Align it up to the edge of your first page. Press down hard. And cut away. And these pieces I don't throw away. I use them for collaging. I'll use them to make little tiny booklets. You know, don't throw those away. And there we go. We have our first little signature. Everything is there. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing with this one. And I'll save this because these little big pieces, they're still, not this one, this is like too small. So go through and pull out your, like these. I don't use those. But this will give me a nice little booklet. I'll just line it up, square it out, stitch it, and I'll add it into the journal. That's a nice little piece. A tiny booklet. Hi, Maddie. Good morning. So now we're gonna go ahead. I'm trying to do a process video, Maddie. I was requested to do it, so here I am. So we have this one, and again, I don't worry about this yet. I just worry about it being pushed in. Oops, sorry. Push it in with your ruler in the middle of the signature, hold it and pull out. And then go to the very edge. And it's always good to use a metal ruler, because if you use a brown ruler, like a wooden ruler, when you're cutting, you can cut into the wood and then not get an even cut. So I always, for this, use a metal ruler. So line it up to the first page again. And make sure that you press down so you can keep all of your papers nice and tight under there. And we are going to just slice off. Make this puppy even. Oh, thank you, Maddie. Okay, so we got that done. Now we're gonna go down, press the other way, tap, tap, so all of your pages can go down to the bottom. Make sure it's even at the bottom. And then we're gonna go and do the same thing. Go to the edge of that first page. And we'll cut. I have a few journals I gotta work on, but I'll do the little red hen on camera so you guys can see how I do it. And there we go. We have our neck little signature all together. So this will be my first signature. This will be my second. And you can see they're nice and straight. See? So that is how I cut my signatures from a book and how I put them together. These little guys I'm gonna keep because I got 2 little booklets out of this. And I'll just stitch them and put some lace on the top. And I have a cute little booklet. Now, before I stitch my signatures in, I do all of my sewing. Anything that needs to be sewn in, and then I will attach my signatures to the book. So for example, I have the first thing I do after I got my books, my signatures, then I will decide what laces I want to use. So I went ahead and I picked this one for the edge of some of the pages. And I like to use a little bit of a glue string to keep my laces put while I stitch. So now I'm gonna think about where I want my laces to be. And I like them equally distributed throughout the book. I lost a little to my glue and I don't know where it went. I lose my head if it wasn't attached to me, I gotta tell you. Oh gosh. So now it gets that little crusty on the top. Okay, that's good enough. So I can't put this lace there because I'll cover my title and I'll cover part of my little piggy. So cute. So I'll go to the following one and I will add a little thin strand of glue. And this is just gonna aid me while I stitch, because I always stitch all my laces on. So just a hair, literally. And I will put my lace right there. And once I get the idea, I'll cut. All right, and let's smooth this out. So right now I can turn this into little pockets. So I'll glue here, here, and then a little string here, and then I'll have a pocket there and a pocket there. So I like to do that in a lot of my journals. It just gives me extra space to add little things. And then the middle would be right around here. And then just wipe off any excess. Make sure it's nice and straight. And then I will go and stitch that in the machine. So, but right now we're just placing the lace. I want one in the center. So again, I'm going to do one here. My glue's about gone. I'll have to grab the other bottle, but it's expensive glue, so I try to use everything out of it. We already know that it's about there, the middle. And we'll go and place the other lace. There you go. Press, press, press. And then I'm going to need one at the back. And the glue, like I said, it's just a matter of tacking it so that it's easier for you to sew. Now, if you're using hot glue, you can't run it through the machine because that gets hard, you know that. But because I use the Fabri-Tac, I can. Okay, so that's going to dry for me. So I'm going to show you how it's going to look now from an angle. Oh, wrong one. See? Evenly distributed. I have one in the beginning, I have one in the middle, and one in the back. Okay, so now I want something in the middle of those laces. I know I'm lace crazy. And I think maybe, how about some pom-poms? Yeah, we'll do pom-poms. So now I'm gonna go in between these, which it's gonna put me in the middle page of my signature, right? You see, the middle of each lace distance will be the middle of my signature. And I'm just gonna add, just for fun, just if I can get my glue to go down, I'm going to add a string of pom-pom, just for fun. And cutting. And it just makes your edges look really pretty. Press it down. And then I will go to the next middle of this signature and do the same thing. The little heater kicked in. That little heater is so powerful that it will blow me right out of here. And it's on low. Okay. So you guys crafting? What you guys working on? Anything? Or you just watching? I like to craft while I watch people craft. Okay. So that is enough for my edges. So I have a row of lace, 3 rows of lace and 2 rows of pom-poms. And I think that is how I like it. So now I still can't stitch these signatures in because I like to add flips and I like to add fabric pockets. So that's what I'm gonna do. Oh, look at, it's like goopy. I'm gonna take and I'm gonna cut my little flip. I want each signature to have one. So let's cut. Enough for 2 pockets and 2 flips. I love this fabric, it's so pretty. Because it's like that blue and then it has like gold in between, like on the edges of the flowers and things. Love it. Okay. I think that should be enough. Let's cut it off. I need a sip of coffee, guys. Okay. So I just want to make sure that my little tip-in is straight. Let's try to rip. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. And my hands are, oh my God, my hands are just awful. I really can't. So this will be one little flip. Somebody's here. Who's here? Hold on, guys. I hear somebody outside. That's freaky. Oh, what the heck? Somebody's in front. I'm in my yard. Oh, my brother-in-law. I was like, oh no, somebody's in my front yard. Oh my God, and I'm by myself. Freaked me out for a minute. All right, let's try to rip this side. And these little guys I don't throw away. I have a little snippet box, like a little snippet container, and I pick from it, and it's fun. So we have our first little flip. I need to make this one straighter, and the best way to do it is by cutting and ripping. Let me see if I can. It's not gonna work out. So I'll turn this one into a pocket. Okay. So this will be a little pocket that gets stitched onto one of the pages. So yeah, I do all of my stitching first and then I'll stitch in my signatures. 'Cause once it's in, then you can't do nothing but glue. So I have a pocket, I have a flip, I need another pocket and another flip. Okay. So we have another pocket, and these little guys I'll use like to make the mini pockets that I make in my journals. So let me just cut it while I'm at it. So there's one mini pocket. And these little bits, I save them for little collages and things. Let's clear this out. I need another piece. Now this will give me my flip and my pocket. All right. So what I like to do is I always like to trim my pockets. I'll show you what I'm going to use. Let's see. I use this little guy. So this is a pocket. And I'll add the little trim probably at the bottom. And I use a different kind on top. So I like the top one to be a little bit thicker. It just adds a little extra something. So let me put a little string of glue just to hold my lace in place. And do the same for this one. I have this really dainty little, it's like crochet trim. But I love it. It's so dainty and so cute. And I'll just add it to the very bottom. And then when I stitch it onto the page, it'll get stitched. And I'll do the same for this one. Oh, I already put glue on that one. Now I want a little thicker lace for the top. So let me see what I have really fast in my little lace thing. Okay. I got this vintage lace. And so I'll just add it to the top. See? And the pocket looks finished. So I'll do that. I don't know, it just makes the pocket look finished. So I always like to add it. Oops. Sorry guys, I'm rusty at this. So I'm not used to it. Okay. Now once this dries a little, I'll stitch the top and then I'll adhere this pocket to the page and then I'll stitch all along the page to adhere it. So let that dry for a minute. And then my flips, make sure that my flips aren't too long. And I think this one might be a little too long. So let me just cut a little. Okay. So for my flips, I will add I like to add little pieces of things. So this is where I keep all of my little snippets and things like that. So let me just find maybe this one and a little piece of this. I'm showing you my hot mess here. I just like to add little snips of things, you know, for texture, for just makes it fun. Maybe a piece of that. Okay. So at the bottom, I'm going to put this one. And then on the top, I'll do a little bit of a layering. Just a string of glue to hold it all in place. And I'll put this one at the bottom. And then for the top, then I'll take it to the machine and stitch that on and stitch that. And for the top, let's do a little bit of a layering. I love doing that. Just to add a little extra something. Maybe like that. Can you guys see? And then like that. And maybe use a little piece of this. Oh, this glue is becoming such a nuisance. Okay, and then I will just glue what I want and how I want it. I want that one dangling. I want this one just like kind of poofing. Same over here. And when you do these flips like this, it just adds a little extra thing to look at. It just adds a little extra little something. I really like it. Little piece here. And you can't think about it too much, because if you think about it too much, then it's gonna be like, oh no. And then I'll add my last little bit here. And my last little bit here. There we go. And then here, I like to cut at an angle. And there are my little flips. My little 2 flips, my little 2 pockets, which I am going to, I like to cut at an angle. And then the bottom I just cut straight. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm gonna take this to the machine. I want to stitch on the flips. I stitched the bottom on, and then this gets stitched onto the page. On the pockets, I stitched the top on because this will get stitched to the page. So that's what I'm gonna do. Unfortunately, my setup here is not gonna allow me to show you, but I have to run this pretty quick. And I'll be right back. And here we go. That is super secure now. I can't cut with this. Too big. So we have our first one. We have our second one. And then we have our pocket. All right, now this goes onto the signature because I'll do all of my handmade ephemera and everything that gets glued on. But when it comes to things like this all gets stitched on. Like I still have to stitch the laces on. So let's think about where we want our first flip. And I think I want it here. So I just run a little thing of glue just to keep it in place. Place it right in the middle. And then I'll come and stitch that. And the way I space it, if I put a flip on this side of the signature, I will move to the back and put the fabric pocket somewhere in the other side that you normally wouldn't think to write. So like right here, it will be perfect on top of the music. So I'm just going to adhere this a little bit. Just the middle to keep it in place for me. And we'll place it right there. And we'll go to the next signature and find a spot for this one. So cute. Let's do this here. Look at this glue. It's so misbehaving. Oh my God, it's so annoying. Good morning, Katzel. Sure. And then we'll go over to the other side of the signature. And maybe find maybe here. That'll look cute there. I'm also working on an ugly duckling. I just read the story. You know, that story is such a beautiful story. You know, shows about teasing and about, I don't know, self-esteem and all that. I love that story. So I am making a little ugly duckling book too. And we have our next pocket. And now with these bits, I like to make, I'll put one in each signature, like mini pockets. Hey, I had one already. There's one there. And I'll just cut another one. Because I have little tiny playing cards, and they'll go perfect in here. And for the mini tiny pockets, I only put a little piece of lace at the bottom of the pocket. I don't worry about the top because I like that little raw edge sticking out. So let's run a little piece of lace at the bottom so it looks finished off. Oh, look at that. And we are about to getting closer to stitching in our signatures. I always gotta make sure that I got the lace in the right direction because I'm notorious for doing that and then I have to peel it back up. And then this will get stitched on all the way around in the page. And I still like to give it that little peak, like that little sharp edge, you know, like that. And that gets put in the book. And that now I will put in this side of the signature where it has the flip. And I will, looks like that's a good spot. You know, I read some comments and things, and I've seen videos on things. I talk about, oh, don't show your secrets, this, that, and the other, you know. You know what my thing is? This world is so huge. There's so many people. And we all want success, right? So if I can help somebody get closer to reaching their goal or getting over the fear of making a journal, I feel happy. I don't care about, oh, that's your formula, blah, blah, blah. The world is too big. There's enough for all of us. And my thing is, we help each other. You know? It was the same thing when I used to make soap. Soap makers, they don't like to share their recipes. No, that's a big no-no. I used to make videos sharing recipes, actually. I wrote an ebook and shared recipes on everything. Bath bombs, lotion, shampoo bars, everything. You know, I don't care. There's so many people out there. You know, let's help people, you know, reach their goal. Give channel shout outs, you know. Oh my gosh, it's like, I don't know. I have this pretty lace. Isn't that cute? And I'm thinking I want to incorporate it somehow. So I might just make a little pocket with two of them. They're so pretty, look. See? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Make a little pocket out of two pieces. Yeah. Let's see where. How about on my envelope? No, because then I can't stitch it. It's not gonna work. Ooh, how about here? Oh no, let's do it here. I don't know where. That one hasn't. Let's see. That one has one. Let's do it here. No, because that page can be used. How about here? No. This is the thing, is just finding where. I want to put it right here. That's what I'm going to do. And then I'll stitch it. I can't hear you, Kat. Oh my God, that's funny. You know, I do that sometimes too. I'll be watching a video and I'll be answering and all that. And my husband looks at me like I'm crazy. He's like, who are you talking to? I'm like, YouTube. He gives me that crazy look. I think I want it right there. And let's stretch it out. Ooh, I got glue on my fingers. That's the one thing, guys. Your fingers get so messy. But I want to stretch it out. And then I will stitch around it. And we have a cute little pocket. How cute is that? See, I have to watch myself because if not, I keep adding. That's why some of my journals are so big. Because I go loca. Okay, let's see if we can find a spot. I think I want it right here, this one. Just a little dots of glue all around the edges, just to keep it. Oh, I don't want to cover Jesus' name because I will feel awful. Okay. And that gives texture and it just adds a little something. All right, guys. So now it's sewing time before we even think about stitching this all together. Okay. Eesh. All right. I can't I can't show you me stitching, so I'm gonna do it really fast and then I'll show you what I did. I'm sorry, and I don't know how to edit, so what you see is what you get. I'm sorry, guys. That's why sometimes I think about process videos, because I think people are gonna get mad or bored, because there are certain things I can't show, like my setup is not gonna allow me to show you where I'm stitching, but I'm gonna try my best to hurry. I'm doing it in brown. Because I'm gonna like the contrast. I'm trying to go fast, guys. Sorry. Stitching. Sorry, guys. Getting there. One signature done. Almost there. done. Sorry about that. I'll tell you now. Cat. I use 5. I use this one. I like it. So that's the one that I use. All right, so we have everything stitched in. Now we can attach our signatures. Sorry about that, guys. If whoever's watching the replay later on can just forward all that mess. So I'm just gonna snip a little bit of these strings because I don't want them to get caught in my signature. Make sure I got everything. I didn't miss anything. All right, it looks like I'm good. All right, so we're gonna add the signatures in the book. And then tomorrow we will come back and show you how I make all the ephemera that goes in there. All the handmade ephemera that I do, the pockets, flips, and tucks and all that. That madness. All right, so the first thing I do is I just make sure everything is aligned and where I want it. Like I want this page to be a little higher. I want my doily to be more or less in the center. And I want my little bag to be more or less in the center. Okay, we're looking good. All right, so once I know that everything is where I want it to be, I just go make sure that everything is nice and aligned. I'll go back later and snip off the thread. I'll take my ruler, and this is my little sewing box thing that I have. I'll take my ruler and I will push down in the middle, hold it, make sure everything is nice and aligned, and grab it in the center. That's my signature in the middle. That's my envelope, and I just clip it. I only clip it on one side. And then we'll do the same for this one. Make sure everything is where I want it, because it's a done deal after that. Yeah, I sew the lace, Cat. I just tack the everything in the book with a little bit of glue just so it doesn't move on me while I'm stitching. But yes, I do stitch all the laces. And I used brown this time because I just wanted that contrast, because it's a little red hen. So I just wanted it to look more rustic, you know. Otherwise, if I would have been doing a shabby or something like that, then I would have used like white thread, but not for this one. So make sure I'm in the center. I push everything in, make it nice and tight. And then I'm gonna go into my center again, find it, hold it, and then I'm gonna clip it. And there we go. So this is gonna be my second signature. This is gonna be my first. And oh, I stitch about anywhere from 15 to 20 at a time. This one I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I got 16 here. Okay. I didn't want to add more than that because I have handmade ephemera that I want to make and show you guys and add it in. So I wanted to keep it like that. So let me get my awl. Now the template that I showed you earlier, which is this one, I'm going to use it. I put a T to mark the top for when I make the holes. I haven't made the holes on my little book cover yet, but I'm going to make the holes on this first. And I matched it with the book. Okay. So I'm going to make this first. Let me do this first. Make sure this is the T for the top. Line it up, and it's cut to 2 inches. And then I'll show you what I do to mark the holes for that. Everybody got their own way of doing things. This is just the way that I found it works best for me. Make sure it's there. There's a line at the top and the bottom, and I just poke through it. Make sure I can see that because I got to go all the way through. And I just poke right there. Now my template, I gave you the measurements already. And then for the distance between the stitches, I just go 1/2 inch in, 1/2 inch in. And then from there to there, I count 2 inch. I think it was 2 inches. Let me see. 1.5 inches. And then from here to here, 1.5 inches. And then I just poke in between the lines. I will show you that in a second, close up. Just want to make sure I got my holes where I need them to be. So then I take a pencil and I run the pencil in between, you know, like where the scores are, and right in the middle I just poke after I line up. So, and then I'll just go in and make my hole. And this is the stitch that I use for everything. I love the 4-hole pamphlet stitch, and I just like it. So now I have my holes, and now this I'm gonna have to cut from this template because I want it to be the same as this. And I'm just gonna eyeball it. As you can see, let me put the T to the top of the book, and right there. So I have to take off that much there and there, even. So I'm just gonna make me my little mark because it's easier for you to make the holes on this. Let me snip off the little piece. And now it's the same size as this. So what I do is I just fold it in any one of those. So just so you have this, I can still see where the little holes are. I'm just gonna slide this in, make sure that the T is right there on the top. Slide it in the middle of the signature like that. Okay. And make sure it's aligned. And a lot of people do this different. Some people use the book and you place it in. I don't. I like to have total control of where my needle's gonna come out through. I like it to be right on the edge of the spine. So don't do what I'm doing. Use something to poke your holes through. But I've been doing it already for a while, and this is the way I do it. So I'm just gonna make sure that this is nice and straight in there. And then I just go in, line my all, hold it, and push. That's the way I do it. Line it, hold it, and push. Everybody does it different. This is just what works for me. And push. And again. And see, now I know that my holes came out right at the spine. And what I do is I just push it, put them together, 2 of them. You don't have to, you can use the same template, but this is just me because I want them to be exactly aligned in the journal. You can use the same template and do the other signature the same way, but I'm just going to poke a little hole to give me an indicator. Now that I know that the spines are, that my signatures are aligned. They got now like book holders to where you can lie your book in there and make your holes, but I like doing it this way. Might be the wrong way, but now I have the little holes and I know exactly where I'm going, and I'm just gonna hold it and push. All right. See that little page is coming undone a little bit? I'm going to add a little piece of tape to that because I don't want it to if I find a little piece of tape, I'll just use a little piece of washi. What's this one? Just a little piece, because I do not want that to keep going. And I don't trust washi on its own, like, so I just put a little dab of glue, spread it, and just add it. There we go. No, it's not gonna go anywhere. And it's a junk journal, so that little script tape is not gonna hurt it. All right. Let's sew in our signatures now. So I like to go 3 times the length of the book. So 1, 2, 3. It's right about there. And then I just match it up because I need 2. And I want this one. And this is wax thread. I get it off of Amazon. I have a link in the description box where you can buy a whole kit with the thread, the oil, and everything for a great price. All right, so our first signature is going to be the last one we sew in. We always start with the back signature. So I go in. Let me show you. Let me see if that works a little better. I zoomed you in. I go in through the second hole from the top. Go in. Second hole. The back line here. Okay, this is our back signature. So you want to put it on the back line. So I'm just going to match it up. Stick it into the second one from the top. We're going to go to the top one now. Okay, the top one, same row. We come out. Make sure that you leave that little tail. Okay, and go to the top one. And then we're going to go to the bottom one, last one. We're going to skip the third one. We're going to go to the fourth one. Skip the third, go to the fourth. And we're just going to put that needle through. And we're going to do the same in our cover. Skip the third, go to the fourth, the bottom one, the very last one. And now we'll go to the third one. Okay, that one right there. And now we'll go to this one here, the third one. Go in. And go in through our third hole. When you come in, you want one of these tails to be on the opposite end of your middle. So like that. This is your middle thread. This is one going this way on this side and one on this side. Okay. Take your clip off so that your pages can align. Yes, it's a great deal too, Kat. And then pull up, never this way or you rip. You want to always pull up as tight as you can get it. And I always check the back to make sure it's nice and tight. And I always, for added protection, I add a little bead of glue right there. Push up, and we go ahead and we're gonna knot. And I go 1 and 2, and then tie it down. Hold it in the middle, and go again. And make that knot. Okay. Now, if you didn't have the envelope in the middle, you can leave this and add charms, but I always like to hide my tails. So I cut, and then I press this down into that glue. And that's just gonna guarantee that that signature is gonna stay nice and tight. And then I'll close the envelope. Oh, the alarm's going off. Can you guys hear the fire siren? There must be a fire. And then I just close it. And roll that glue right off. Oh, okay, Kat. I'll talk to you later, hon. You can rewatch later. Have a good one. And that is my middle signature, and that is the first signature stitched in. And now we'll stitch in the other one. Same thing. Put this together. And we start again in the second hole from the top. And we find second hole from the top. Pull it out. Make sure you leave your tail. And then you go to the very top one. Go in. Go to the very top one on your signature. Go through. Make sure you leave your little tail. Now we go to the very bottom hole and go in. And we find the very bottom hole on your spine. Go through. And then we go up to the top, to that third one from the top, the one above it. And we go in. And we go in. You make sure that, again, take your clip off. Make sure that one of these tails is on opposite side of this middle string, okay? And then pull up to tighten up. Make a good tug. And then I always like to check the back. That one's a little loose still. So let's pull and pull. Perfect. I add my little bead of glue to secure that. And go 1, 2, tighten it down. And I hold it with a finger and go again to make the knot and tighten it. Cut the excess. My hands are so full of glue, guys. And then we just add our glue and seal the deal. Seal the deal. And there you have it. Now we have our book together. Nice and even. And the only thing we have to do now is come in and add our pockets, add our decorations, our little ephemera. See? Easy peasy, right? This middle of the signature. Nice and tight. All right, so I'm going to leave you with that today. Tomorrow I'll come back and show you how I make all the flips and the tucks and other playing cards and check those check things and everything else that I add on in the journal. All right, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up and feel free to share with anybody who you think is trying to learn how to work with junk journals. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I wasn't too boring, and yeah. You're welcome, Christine. All right, guys, you all have a wonderful day. I'm going to eat breakfast now. All right, I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.